What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Gear Breaker Nation, where we give excellent assessment and reviews. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing Supergirl, Season 1, Episode 18, World's Finest. Now, the episode starts off where you have Wynn and you got Supergirl here at the DO headquarters trying to figure out what's wrong with Sylvan, because in the previous episode, she fell off the side of a building, and before she could hit the ground and die, she ended up releasing this really loud scream that saved her life, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And after figuring out not really much about the situation, she storms out, but she ends up having these weird flashes in her head. Now, I am a DC Comics fan, and there's only two women that actually have silent screams: Black Canary and Silver Banshee. So I'm like, okay, let's just see what's going on with it. And then as she's walking out, she actually sees Lana Lang interrogating Livewire in this cell. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit too convenient. At that moment, I honestly thought that was a little bit too convenient. The door just happened to be open at that exact moment. A scene where Sylvan is, I'm saying her name wrong, I know, but it's hard for me to say her name for some reason. She's walking down the street, she's thinking to herself, and her head starts hurting, she becomes disoriented. Then she see that flash in the face again. I was like, that's a Silver Banshee. That's the Silver Banshee look right there. So I'm like, okay, she is Silver Banshee. And then at this moment, she decides to go back to Catco. Now, she storms into Catco. Wynn is trying to talk her down. Kara's trying to talk her down. And you got Cat. It's like, okay, just go ahead and call security, get up out of here. Now, as Kara is talking to her, Sylvan, I keep messing her name up, I'm sorry. She looks at Kara because she hates Kara and blames Kara for ruining her life, and what she does is she releases a scream that sends Kara flying out the window. Now, this does knock her out, and then she's like falling outside the building, but then this dimensional portal opens up, and next you know, who show up, the Flash zooms through the city, runs up the building, catches Kara, and then just takes her out into this field. And it's kind of comical at this moment because she ends up regaining consciousness, but her clothes are on fire. So he's like, oh, you're on fire. But he's trying to pat her down, but he doesn't want to pat her down because it's on her chest. And like, you don't want to touch her breast. So it's like, I thought that was kind of comical. You realize that she's not really reacting to it. She's like, what in the world's going on? And what happens? She takes off into the air, and he's like, wow, I've never seen that before. So I liked his reaction in that moment. Of course, they do have a conversation about like how she can do the things that she can do, how he can do the things that he can do, and they compare why he hasn't heard of a Supergirl in his world, why she hasn't heard of a Flash in her world, and they elaborate towards each other. So I like that conversation. I like those comparisons. Of course, she takes him to go meet James and Wynn. James automatically doesn't like her because of how well he gets along with Kara. It's apparent, and I was like, that's what you get because you kept doing that to Wynn. Like, you're a douchebag, dude, so go ahead and suck it up. That's what you get. You know, he reveals himself to be Barry Allen, and you know, they're talking and everything. And this is the Barry Allen from the show The Flash. So the Flash tells them that there are parallel worlds in the same area, but sharing the same space, but at the same time they're vibrating at different frequencies, which is why they can exist in the same place, but not, you know, actually be connected. I mean, you know, actually be there at the same time. So that was pretty cool. I really did like that. I really liked the characters and how they interacted with each other. I do like the fact that Barry is like looking into her world on the computer, trying to find out what's in her world compared to his and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like, the particle accelerator isn't in her world, but Central City is in her world. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I did like those references. Of course, Kat ends up calling the gang to go talk to her. She meets Barry Allen. It's kind of funny because she was not concerned for Kara at all when she went flying out that window. That was pretty funny in my opinion. I also appreciated how, you know, she's trying to figure out who the Flash is, and she's trying to come up with the names and things. Then Barry says the Flash, and she just completely dismisses it and calls him the Blur. So I was like, that's pretty funny. Now, Sylvan ends up going to go meet her auntie to try to figure out what's going on with her. Her auntie ends up telling her that their family's been cursed by a Banshee because of some wrongdoing they did to the Banshee and like early in their ancestry. Whenever somebody wrongs them, they end up getting this power to scream really loud, but she has to kill the person that's creating all this animosity, otherwise the Banshee will take over her body. She ends up hatching this scheme to kill Kara And I think that transition was a bit too fast. It wasn't like she was like, okay, how am I supposed to believe you? And like it didn't seem like she questioned it enough. But so she ends up hatching a scheme to kill Kara, but she has to stop Supergirl. So she decides to go save Livewire, rescue Livewire to take care of Supergirl. That way she can take care of Kara. Now she does end up setting Livewire free, even though you don't really see her doing it. You can tell, she's there doing it. But this kind of got my question. I was like, how did Livewire know to go to the warehouse where Seobin was? I'm like, I still don't understand how she knew where to go, but I was like, okay, so they talked to each other and they joined forces. Now at this point, Livewire is free, so Kara's like, okay, Kat, you got a deal because she on the way to come get you. You know the deal. Kat says she ain't worried about it because Supergirl got her. I like that. That shows just how much faith and how much she just depends and likes Supergirl. Barry is taken back to the DEO, and it's kind of funny considering the fact that everybody's got their guns on them and everything. And I messed up on her name. Her name is not Lana, it's Lucy Lane. So he ends up revealing his identity to Lucy along with the help of Supergirl. They end up just being like, okay, we'll trust him because Supergirl trusts him. Barry ends up using the help of the DEO to find out where Livewire is. And of course, they figure out that Livewire is at this warehouse. Barry does kind of caution Supergirl to kind of go into this battle with a plan, but Supergirl's so eager to take down Livewire, she just goes in, guns blazing. Flash goes to fight Livewire, and he does this thing where he runs around at super speed, jumps back and throws a lightning bolt at her, because it was one villain named Blackout in his series where he had to do that to overload him. It didn't work. It ended up supercharging it. So she ended up like electrocuting him and knocking him out. So before Supergirl could shoot the little water system to short her powers out, Seobin comes down the stairway, yells at her, knocks her down, and she has the Silver Banshee outfit on. And the outfit I didn't mind, but she had the makeup on and stuff like that. I didn't really like that. I thought that was kind of stupid to have. At this point, the two superheroes are forced to retreat because so later on, Kara is sitting there thinking to herself, and then Flash comes and they talk, and it was a pretty meaningful conversation. I like the fact that the reason why she ran to go take out Livewire the way she did was because she wants to hurry up and get the citizens to back her again, because previous episodes she got taken over by Red Kryptonite and became a dick. So Flash, which I actually was rooting for that he would do this, did the same thing and told her that, it was one situation where his mind got altered and he was being a dick. Now Livewire and Banshee are now going to Cat Code because they want Cat drive Supergirl, but they also want Cat too. And Wynn does try to talk to Banshee, and I like the fact that you can tell he's feeling something for this chick. He actually generally wants to help this chick, but she knocks him to the side. They kidnap Cat, and Flash ends up developing these earbuds to help deal with Banshee's scream attacks. So they go confront these two. Of course, the earbuds block out the screaming attacks. So Banshee really can't do nothing. Livewire, but she ends up like taking off into like this electricity pole. To this lamp post. Flash pursues her onto the top of this building. He does these quick attacks where he's like knocking her ass out. Like he hit her like 3 or 4 times, super speed and everything. But she ended up like doing some kind of like a energy burst type attack, and then hit him and knocked him out. I was like, that was kind of weak. I would have liked to see a more extended fight. Perhaps she's like traveling through like the landlines and he's chasing her or something. Like something like that. I would have liked to have a more epic, this is the Flash, man. I would have liked to have a more epic fight, but that's okay. So Supergirl is fighting Banshee, and Banshee, I believe, must have super strength because she did knock the hell out of Supergirl at one point with a punch. So I was like, okay. Supergirl goes to attack her ass or whatever, but then of course Livewire jumps back into the fray. And she tries to shoot this helicopter down. And when she goes to shoot the bolt at the helicopter, Supergirl jumps up and takes the bolt full blast. It like brings her down. She like falls to the ground, and Livewire is ready to do her in. And what happens? Right before she do anything, the citizens come to protect her from these two villains. And it's great to see that now that these citizens actually see that Supergirl isn't a threat, you know, because like the last few episodes, they seen her as a threat no matter what she done. They all seen her as a threat, and it's great. I love the fact that they did show that right before Livewire was gonna, because she was ready to fry everybody. She got hit with a fire hose by the firefighters, and it short-circuited her. And since Banshee was so close to her, of course she got electrocuted, so they both got knocked out from that altercation. Now, honestly, I wish the fight was a bit better. And when I say better, I mean longer, more destructive, something. More teamwork between Barry and Supergirl. I would have liked to see more, but it was all right for what it was. I ain't gonna lie, also the whole fire hose with the electricity thing, I hate to say it, but it felt like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 moment, how they took out Electro the first time with the fire hose, but okay. Now, you know, the Flash ends up helping the police actually build containment units for metahumans. By developing some of the technology from the Flash series, which I think was an absolute brilliant idea for the Supergirl series. Okay, Kara is going to go see Barry off, and she tells Kat this, and I'm kind of glad, and I'm actually glad that Kat called it out, because she was like, you know, she knew that Barry was the Flash. She gave a lot of pretty good, she gave some pretty good points, and I like how she said that she knows a superhero who's trying to act like a nobody that's like right up under her nose or something like that. And I was like, okay, good call, Kat, because she did call Kara out, and the only way she got out of that was because John Jones was on could shapeshift. That's the only reason she got out of that. Barry has that tachyon machine that lets him jump dimensions and everything. And I will admit, you know what I'm saying, this I wish I could have did a little bit longer. Barry says, you know, if the two of them run at super speed and she throws him, he might get the speed he needs to activate the tachyon thing to jump dimensions again. Now, one thing I want to say is I wish this scene was a bit more extended. Like, if you've seen the series Smallville, there's one episode where he's running down the street with Impulse, and they're like running. He's like running after him, running beside him, but it was like a long shot, and it was really cool because you could see, you know, how the two see each other. And I think that was a great shot. You do get that sequence in this where they take off running at full speed, and she's actually able to keep up with them. Me personally, I really wish it wasn't her running. I wish it was her flying and maybe flying after them and pushing them and like that. That's what I would like to see. But what it was she was running with his same speed, and she like pushed him, and then he like went through the dimensional portal. But like I said, I wish she would have been if she would have flew, because it seemed like that she would have flew faster. The sequence where Kara is at the house. She invites James over. They start talking and stuttering, and of course she ends up confessing that she likes him, and they share a kiss. Now, one unexpected event happened where James is like, and you can tell he's dazed, like, you know, like his mind is being controlled. And what happened? He walks out the room, down the hallway, and after she looks out to see what's happening, she realizes that everybody's doing the exact same thing he's doing. They're walking out of wherever they're doing, they're walking down the street and all of that. So there is that. You can tell, okay, mind control. And what happens when they're finding out that Non is in control, the Project Myriad thing is on the way, and Indigo is right there with them. So guys, I know this was a bit of a choppy episode review, and I should have did this review like a month ago, but I don't give a damn because I work 2 jobs and it's kind of hard to be consistent with videos. But I like this episode. Since I was catching up on my Supergirl episodes, I decided to go ahead and just do this. I really wish the episode would have extended more screen time for both of these superheroes fighting together. I expected the first fight where they weren't, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, I was good with that one, but the second fight, I wish there was more coordination between the two. But hey, it was honestly a pretty good episode. It wasn't as epic as, say, Flash versus the Arrow episode, but hey, it was pretty good for what it was. Anyway, guys, in the comment section below, let me know what you thought about this episode. Did you think it was epic? Did you think it was all right? What do you think it could have been better on? Do you think the two should have fought or something? Until the next edition, guys, of Gear Breaker Nation, remember, keep those gears turning. See, I used the other hand.